Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very exciting episode. We are going to talk about dermal rolling, a lot of your frequently asked questions, and we're actually going to be chatting with the very beautiful Justine, as she's been on the show before. And we're going to talk about her experience with dermal rolling as well as one of her girlfriend's experiences too, because they both started on the same roller, and then Justine's upgraded to this other gold roller that I showed here. And this is going to be a really fun episode, and we're going to answer a number of questions that I get asked all of the time. If you're new here, my name is Rachel Varga. I'm a board-certified aesthetic nurse specialist, and I've been helping clients from all over the world for nearly a decade, 19,000 procedures later. And what you're going to learn here is about what you can do at home to stimulate collagen using options like collagen induction therapy, which is otherwise known as dermal rolling. So, Justine, it's a pleasure to have you back on the show.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be back, Rachel.
Excellent. So Justine is an expert in the health space and functional medicine and all that good stuff. And you wanted to incorporate dermal rolling into your routine. So you reached out to me to learn all about it. So tell me how things have been going for you.
So good. I mean, I was a bit obsessed with my skin health prior to meeting with you and being introduced to you. So I had done a variety of different treatments. I'd done the Morpheus, I'd done lasers, Clear and Brilliant. I had spent thousands and thousands of dollars on procedures. I have never done, fillers or Botox or Xeomin or anything, but just trying to try all the things to see what would help with my skin. And little bit of a backstory to that. I had noticed some extreme degeneration in my skin. I was overusing the sauna, the infrared sauna. So I was extremely dehydrated, but I think that I was breaking down collagen using that sauna, overusing the sauna. So
what's overuse for you in your body?
I should give a little bit of a disclaimer. I have a tendency to kind of go over the top. Like if something's good, I do more and more. So I've had to learn the hard way in a lot of different areas that more is not always better. So I was using the sauna. I'm an avid reader. So I was probably crawling in there on average at least an hour and a half a day.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah, it was a lot. So, and the physician that I was working with at the time he warned me for 6-8 months before I noticed any skin degeneration that he's like, you got to get out of that sauna. You're so dehydrated.
Too much of a good thing is not a good thing. So there's lots of benefits to saunaing, but when you take things too far, you're going to overdo it. And the same thing goes with your skincare and also things like dermal rolling. So you recently upgraded your dermal roller to the gold roller. And what was that like for you?
So I started rolling to just work on regaining that collagen, and I have noticed huge differences. A huge difference in my skin. So I started with is it the 0.1?
Yeah.
So I started with the 0.1, but I didn't feel anything when I was using it. My best friend also did a consult with you, and she was using the same roller that I received from you. And she would tell me that she would use the roller, and then after she rolled, she'd put on her actives and her face would be burning. And sometimes even the next morning, she said that her face was still she was still experiencing that burning sensation. And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't feel anything when I roll. And I've never experienced any burning sensation at all. So I did upgrade probably a little bit prematurely, because I think I probably rolled with the 0.1 for 3 months. And then I invested in the gold roller, which is just, it feels like a whole different tool, because it's like the weight of it is so nice. It feels so much more like elegant. And
I love the weight of this one, just an FYI. Granted, it's a lot more. So the starter rollers are about 120 to 150 Canadian, and then the gold rollers 500. But there's no plastic to it. Like, it's considered a lifetime device. This is all educational info, not medical advice, FYI. But when I personally transitioned from the other 0.1, 0.3, and then actually back to the 0.2 with this one, I noticed a big difference for myself personally too.
Yeah, no, I love it. So I've noticed a difference now. I do feel a little bit of that tingling sensation after I roll, and never the next morning, but I definitely am feeling this one more. And even just like psychologically, it's helpful because you feel like you're actually doing something. So yeah, I love it. And I don't think, I mean, yeah, it's an investment. It's not a cheap item, but when you compare it to the cost of some of these crazy, I mean, one Morpheus treatment is $900. So if you can do these in-home routines and prevent, I mean, I don't even really think, I think that the rolling consistently 4 to 5 times a week has done way more for my skin than any of those expensive procedures have. So I
Well,
am,
they're different, right? So the laser treatments are going to create a certain type of collagen, and then the dermal rollers are going to create a different type of collagen. There's, to date, my understanding is about 16 different types of collagen. So what's really cool about the dermal rollers is that they're for like my clients who are on a pension all the way to my celebrity clients. And what's really funny is that, not funny, but this is just interesting, is that a majority of my celebrity clients are actually men. And men love this because it doesn't hurt. It just feels like a little bit prickly. Yes, you'll be a little bit kind of like flushed afterwards, but there's essentially no downtime with it, which is great. But before you met with me, you'd picked up a roller online. So tell me about that, or tell everybody about that if you're comfortable. You just kind of like tried to Google it and do it yourself, and then you met with me and had some proper instructions. So that, because that's typically what I'll hear is people will say, oh, this person mentioned this brand of roller, so I got it, but then they weren't using the right things with it. What was your experience?
so I actually first heard you talk about rolling on the Dave Asprey podcast, and you had talked about the different qualities of rollers and how some of these rollers that are less expensive, that are made in China, that you can, oh my gosh, there were so many things that you said, but one of the things that really stood out was that when you roll with them, those little needles, first of all, the metal can be full of heavy metals,
Yep.
and then they could actually fall out and get inserted in your face. So there was a couple of things that just made me realize how important it was to make sure that I was working with somebody like you, and then also making sure that I was purchasing my products from somebody that, I mean, I felt like a sense of trust. I trusted you right out of the gate after hearing you on that podcast. You just came across as so genuine, and then I got to know you and realized that that's absolutely the truth. So I just really wanted to hear your thoughts on what you recommended, products that you recommended. And then that's the other thing too, is you spend, I mean, I again have spent thousands and thousands of dollars on all these different products, from being at functional medicine conferences, A4M, the big anti-aging functional medicine conference in December in LA. They always have like hundreds of vendors there that are in the anti-aging skincare world. And I'll come home with thousands of dollars of new products to try. And so just getting the product advice from you has been like a breath of fresh air, because now I don't feel like I'm constantly searching for the next best thing. I can just be confident in knowing that I can come to you. I can ask you what you recommend and go from there.
Yeah, so fantastic. And I mean, you work with clients yourself as well, in the healing modalities that you offer. And you and I, we both don't take that trust lightly. Like, we really give our everything to helping people live better, healthier lives. I'm just curious, because you were using another glutathione before with your dermal rolling, but am I correct with that? And how much was that one?
Oh, another glutathione.
Yeah, you were using a specific serum, but I'm curious what the price point was for that serum that you were using after rolling before you met me.
I was using Nelly DeVille, I believe the brand was. The price point on that one is, I want to say $79.99 for maybe a 30, it's either 30 or 60 ml bottle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which serums did you prefer? Did you prefer that one with your rolling, or do you prefer the ones that I've laid out for you? That are, by the way, preservative-free, phthalate-free, artificial dyes, fragrance-free, not tested on animals, and there's no emulsifiers. Because when you're rolling, you're creating channels into the skin, So your products actually are getting absorbed transdermally, not topically. So that's a big no-no to use just like anything after rolling. But I'm just curious.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't even really know if I'm using your peptides, and I mean, I love the stuff that you've recommended. So I think that I've made so many changes in the last few months since meeting with you and applying those recommendations to my routine that I don't really know like what's making the biggest difference. Is it the consistent rolling? Is it the products? Is it the combination of both? But whatever it is, you have made a world of a difference. So
Oh, I love it. I love it. So one of the things that you did, like everybody else, right, that connects with me, Rachel, what brand of roller is the best? You know, where do I get it? What do I use with it? How often do I do it? Well, first of all, we got to stabilize your skin. So that's, you know, making sure that you're set up with your cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen, exfoliant, and then using, integrating your rolling actives after that, and then your dermal roller, because you're going to get a little bit of the irritation. And so the thing is, you don't want to start too deep with your roller. You want to slowly graduate up. So you upgraded after about 3 months. Sometimes people will upgrade at about 3 to 6 months. It just depends on like the sensitivity of your skin. But your friend, like she's still cruising at the, you know, at the that level, and it's good for her. So it's so different for everybody.
yeah, and I do not have sensitive skin and or acne prone skin. I mean, I am that person that can like slather on every oil known to man and never get a zit. So I mean, it's rare for me too. So and I've never had sensitivity to products at all. So that's probably part of the reason as to why I didn't feel anything when I was using that point one.
Yeah, but you're still doing something. And sometimes I'll have met with people and they're using like a zero point 0.5 to a zero point 0.7. Like they're starting with a really deep one and they're telling me my roller hurts too much to use. I don't really want to use it because it like it's too painful for me. And that's like red flag. That is way too deep to be starting out with.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what advice would you have for someone that is considering wanting to start dermal rolling? You know, considering that you're a health expert in your own right, you know, say you were speaking to your past self, your younger self, what tips would you give them?
I would first of all say to book a consult with someone like yourself or yourself. I would always recommend everyone to book with you now early on, because I wish that I got started on this a lot sooner than I did. I mean, I basically didn't do anything for my skin whatsoever. I didn't wear sunscreen. I just washed my face with soap and water. I mean, it was now knowing what I know, I'm horrified knowing how I treated my skin for the majority of my life. So I would say, A, get on it as early as you can. And I really think that that plays such a significant role in how the skin ages. And I would say that you need to be committed to rolling because it is time consuming. So I think going into it, just knowing that it's not, you have to have like those values aligned, like your skin health and your appearance and your ability to age well needs to be a high value because it does take time to roll.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's almost like a certain type of personality is going to be good with dermal rolling. Ones that are, you know, clients I work with that are going to be diligent with their AM and PM routine. They're going to integrate the roller a couple of nights a week, and then they'll also be able to listen to their skin. Say the skin's getting a little bit reactive from the retinol that's used in the vitamin serum. They might just need to ease off and then just focus on using their moisturizer to just kind of let the skin re-epithelialize, basically like stabilize, let the skin cells build up, and then start to talk to it again. So there's a whole method to the madness, but you do not just want to guess with this. Otherwise, you know, you'll be wasting your time and money. But it's great because the rolling is an option for those that, you know, the lasers, injectables aren't in the budget. But if you're dedicated to being consistent, you're going to get great results. So it's kind of great for just about everybody. Not everybody, obviously, I can't say that, but you just have to be very clear with the expectations of what you can expect with dermal rolling. Like it's not going to get rid of like sagging jowls, right? It's going to improve the skin texture. So what were some of the things that you noticed with dermal rolling?
So I had, yeah, to be really transparent, I had some major, so from the sauna and the loss of collagen, I had some major crepey skin under my eyes. And it was just, I mean, when I would smile, like the skin there was so saggy. It looked, I can't even tell you how disturbed I was. I mean, I was going from all kinds of skin specialist dermatologists trying to figure out what was going on because it happened so quickly. It was like all of a sudden I looked my age and then I felt like I looked in the mirror and I had aged a decade in a matter of weeks.
Just an FYI, there's a huge skin change from age 37 to 41 based on hormonal changes and drop off of elastin and collagen because of there's less estrogen being produced as we age. So typically at that age, we're going to notice a big change, like across the board anyways.
Well, I wasn't quite there yet. So that's good to know. Hopefully I don't look 41, but not that 40, there's anything wrong with 41, but I'm not ready to look that age yet. I don't want to be aging myself. So I think that the biggest transformation for me from using that roller was just noticing that skin. I mean, it took a long time. It's been 2 years or longer, you know, so it took a long time for that skin to regenerate and come back. But the change has been, I mean, the number of times that I use my roller or put on my actives and like thank Jesus for my skin. Cause I literally was praying about it. I was like, I'm so disturbed because I mean, it doesn't feel good to not feel good about the way that you look. And so I have become really passionate about that too, because I think that when you feel good about yourself too, it does change. I mean, it changes everything. And I mean, maybe that sounds superficial, but I hated the fact that I was hyper focused on these flaws in my skin that I felt like I did feel like it was self-induced. And I know that obviously there's just going to be the aging process there's going to be changes in your skin as we age. But I do think that being consistent with what you recommend and using the dermal roller and those active ingredients that have been proven over time and are in the research that work, I really do think that they can make a dramatic difference in the way that somebody's skin ages. So basically that crepiness is gone now. And I was actually at this skin specialist center that I go to for hydrofacials and was talking to the doctor just a couple weeks ago. And he asked me if I had Botox. So, and I haven't. So he was just like, it looks like you've had Botox.
Yeah, was he pretty impressed with the improvements that you'd had?
Yeah, I mean, he's always been like very kind when it comes to my skin. He's like, you know, your skin, he's always told me that I have beautiful skin. But when that was like kind of the testament, right? When he's like, have you had Botox? Did you come when I wasn't here and get a procedure done? So that's when it was really clear to me that this is actually working.
Yeah, so some of the biggest things that I'll hear from clients, reduction of acne scarring because we're thickening up the skin with collagen, reduction of pigmentation because you're allowing things like copper peptides to be absorbed a little bit deeper to impact the keratinocytes to reduce the overproduction of melanin and the melanocytes in the skin, which is what that pigment is. It's melanin. And yeah, so that's a lot of what I'll hear about is that like that plumping. I know the next day when I do it, my skin feels quite a bit plumper as well. So that was really great for you to share your experience with us, Justine.
Oh, well, thank you for having me, Rachel.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. I really just want to share with you Justine's experience and also like that contrast to one of her girlfriends, just to kind of highlight that it's a really good idea to make sure that you get some one-on-one guidance on this stuff. So just reach out, book a call with me, rachelvarga.ca, and I'll spend an hour with you. I cannot wait to connect with you guys very soon. And Justine, you have a special code to share with everybody listening as well.
The Body Bio code?
No, your specific code for sharing me with.
Oh my gosh, yes, Justine Stenger 15. And if you use that code, you will get 15% off your consultation with the beautiful Rachel Varga.
Amazing. So this is how we share the love, everybody. All right. Thanks so much for joining us, Justine. It was great to have you back on the show.
Thanks so much, Rachel. It was great to be here.
And be sure to find Justine at Justine Stenger on Facebook and Instagram, and also your website. Let everybody know where they can book their sessions with you as well.
Yeah, I'm most active on Instagram, so I'm at Justine Stenger. You can DM me or you can email me at JustineStenger.ca.
And I say Stenger because it's spelt that way, so people will identify with it. So it's JustineStenger. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.